Hello again. What are the odds? Another bright and too shiny, beautiful fall day in the Seattle Puget Sound area. Unbelievable. Very grateful for this weather. Might have a little bit to do with my optimism and burst of energy. I think we all can relate to a little seasonal affective disorder hitting us in the fall and winter here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, as promised, today I want to take a little time between patients to talk about fasting. So, a lot of us have negative connotation with the term fast, or religious connotation with the term fast and pray, or fast until you receive enlightenment in different religious traditions, right? Every religious tradition, every cultural tradition has a cycle of fasting and feasting. Fasting and feasting. So I want to address this. Fasting is not a punishment. Fasting is not something you do to make up for bad behavior. Fasting is not something you do to withhold nourishment or food from yourself because you've been bad. You cannot punish yourself into health. If I could tattoo that across my forehead, I probably would. You cannot punish yourself or hate yourself into health, all right? Fasting is a therapeutic tool. It is a wonderful way to reboot your vitality, your health, and your microbiome. The founder of my school, Bastyr University, often would say, even sick animals know to fast when they aren't feeling well. Like you've had that experience where a cat or a dog stops eating. And that's kind of a warning sign. It's like, oh, they're not feeling well, right? Well, they're doing that because to digest food takes energy. And that energy could be spent healing. So as long as you take care of the basics of hydration, of your mineral and electrolyte balance, and maybe some indicated supplementation to support the process, you can fast for a long time. A resource that I would point you to is Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G, and he has a book out called The Complete Guide to Fasting. And it talks about all the different flavors and forms and lengths and desired outcomes that you can achieve with fasting. And you should work with your physician to figure out how to customize a fast to your particular health concerns and your particular stage of life. There are some clear reasons to do it and some clear reasons and stages of life where you might want to think twice. So for me, part of my health recovery journey has been always a form of fasting, whether that was a water fast, whether that was a very low calorie fasting mimicking diet, or what I love to do now, which is fat fasts. So again, Dr. Jason Fung does an excellent job at describing this method of fasting where you are drinking plenty of water with electrolytes, and those could be store-bought, something like Trace Minerals has a good blend that I like that is just magnesium chloride, sodium, potassium, and sulfate. And so there's no sweeteners, there's no coloring, there's no anything except these electrolytes. Or you can use plain old salt, sea salt, and citrus, so lemon or lime, and I'll supplement with that as well. I don't really like plain water. I know a lot of my patients don't really enjoy plain water, so I'm constantly looking at ways to make it a little more interesting, and especially when adrenals are involved, when you're struggling with your adrenals and you don't have hypertension or high blood pressure, anything like that, adding sea salt and lemon to your water is one of those foundational things. I call it an adrenal tonic, but it's wonderful. It's a wonderful support to deep hydration. And I say deep hydration because I'm one of those. I need the electrolytes in order to become fully hydrated. Otherwise, what happens is when I drink, it just runs right through me. just runs right through me. You may have had that experience. Yeah, comment below if you've had that experience where the more water you drink, just the more time you spend in the bathroom, and it just gets like water, like you're peeing out water. So this is what I track. So I add electrolytes, and I'll do maybe 2 to 3 cups of electrolyte water, or while I'm fasting, basically all my liquid has electrolytes in it. And I track that your urine color is the color of hay. So it's not yellow, and it's not just watercolor, but it's a slight hay color, and that's optimal hydration. And I can also tell just from my tissue tone and quality. There's a test on the back of your hand that if you pinch the back of your hand, let's see if I can do this. I need another hand. Here, I'll set this up. If you pinch the back of your hand, you can tell if you need hydration or not. This is a simple test in ERs when we're looking at very dehydrated people. That elasticity, that spring back, is another indication that you need water or not. I actually do need a little water based on the springiness of my hand. I need to work on that next cup of water. So we've talked about fasting. We've talked about some of the myths. We've talked about the psychology. We've talked about hydration and electrolytes. I also, for me, I add supplements that help with detoxification. So again, what works for you, you need to work with a physician. You need to work according to your circumstance to find out what works for you. But for me, again, I love glutathione. It's my favorite. Dr. Ben Lynch has a lot to say about electrolytes and glutathione. Check out his company, Seeking Health. They have amazing, wonderful, pure vitamins. And I love the liposomal glutathione, a couple pumps of that a day. I never go off my thyroid medication. When I've done so in the past, bad things have happened. Even when I've achieved a desired health outcome and tried to wean off of those, I'm just one of those. I need that. I think of it as food. Remember when we used to eat a lot of organ meats? Yeah. I'm one of those that did really well on organ meats, except, my palate doesn't like the taste of organ meats. Some preparations are pretty good, but think of it like that. It's food. So whatever support you have metabolically, you need to stay on that during your fasting. There are different opinions on this as far as continuing with supplementation regimens during fasting or not. I do really well when I support my channels of elimination through herbals and fiber and glutathione, which is your master antioxidant. It helps you release toxins. So especially combined with sauna, it's a beautiful thing. And I feel well, and I don't get a lot of the flu-like symptoms that can come when you fast, when you start a fast, okay? So you need to support yourself through those first couple days. Here I am on day 3. I've had excellent energy. I've had excellent sleep. I've got great brain capacity, despite my stuttering, believe it or not. I'm thinking clearly. So follow all those signs and symptoms and see if you need a little extra support there. So back to this whole idea of a fat fast. So I'm having fluids. So the water with electrolytes, and I'm having broth with fat in the evening. So that's my fat infusion. I also do drink a couple cups of coffee in the morning with fat. So a la bulletproof a little bit, but there is a certain number of calories on board. Calories are there, but they do not spike my blood sugar. They're very, very minimally loading any glycemic index. So no carbohydrates, just fats, right? And limited. So I'm just having that with my coffee in the morning, and then with my broth that I sit at the dinner table with my family, and I'll eat my broth with the fat in it. And that's my time to connect with them and talk with them. There's so many benefits of sitting at the dinner table with your family and sharing a meal. So I'll still join them for that, even though I'm fasting. So I'll cook for them. And as I was posting yesterday on my Facebook page, it's amazing. I actually have so much inspiration and like desire to cook for others when I'm on a fast. It's kind of fun. I find myself a little more inspired. So again, if you could take away that fasting is not a punishment, and if you have a history of a prior eating disorder where you were in this deprivation purging, self-punishment cycle, be careful. Do be careful and make sure your head's in the right space to do this as a health intervention to promote your health for healing rather than as punishment. And then supporting yourself through this fast with the resources that I provided, this book, The Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung, and making sure that you have your fluids and your electrolytes and choosing the form of fasting that is right for you. So signing off today, Dr. Sarah Chappell at Whidbey ND, practicing on beautiful Whidbey Island. And my son recommended that I do a little tour of my clinic, so that'll be my next post. But keep taking action. This is day 3 of action for me, and I'll see you later. Take care.